My name's Crystal, and I am doing another reading in a series of readings for people who are experiencing a sense of concern or unrest during our current political environment. Um, I've been doing these readings in a local coffee shop here in town, so they like a southwestern motif here. And it may be a little bit loud in the background. I certainly hope not. One of the reasons I'm doing it is because it helps me to. I don't typically do readings like this. I usually do one-on-one personal readings, but I just felt kind of led to do this reading because there's so many people I know that want to know what to do, want to know what they can do in this political environment we're in right now. And so the readings have been very, I think, informative, and I've gotten a lot of really positive feedback on them. So I'm doing the third reading today. Um, then we shall see. I think that it's so nice um, to be able to reach out to my spirit guide, soul guide, um, and say, what do you think of, what's your perspective on what's going on with the American people today? It's always from an unconditionally loving perspective. And people in this country, I mean, I do a lot of work with people that have wounds, need to do different types of shadow work. And countries and communities can have wounds like that in their collective history, right? So let's see what we get today. Okay, one more. Let me just see what we got. Yes. I'm going to hold these to the side for a moment because what I'm seeing right now today is that what we have interesting. Huh. So what we have is kind of this message that's talking about um, what I would consider to be a narrative about diligent work. So that's what this card here is. You can see it. The sunlight's kind of bright right now. It's about diligent work, okay? And if just working hard and being prudently working for your success. But interestingly, wow, this is really, I love it when this happens. This is really, really cool. So right next to it, actually, what we have two cards here. So we've got a wands card, and this card is related to this wands card. This is a page of wands, which is kind of a new or a youthful perspective on creativity. And it's I want to say I'm getting the feeling that it's a masculine creativity. Okay. And this masculine creativity is telling people about working diligently, working hard, and you'll succeed, right? And then we've got somebody here that is just absolutely exhausted from this narrative. Okay. This is about, you can see this guy has a bandage on his head. He's exhausted because he's been working diligently and trying to create something, and it is not panning out. Okay. Um, and I'm going to go ahead and just say that it feels a lot like the American dream. Okay. And I had discussed this a little bit yesterday because I really think my soul guide has been, leading me to share with people each day. The last 3 days it's been, or 2 days it's been the same thing. That our creativity, we need to reclaim our creativity. Okay, because a lot of the information going out right now, the information is really structuring what we believe is possible. And a lot of the stuff through media and other things like that are structuring a world of specific types of possibilities that we know, in some sense, is a spectacle, of some kind, and yet how do we tap in and figure out how to resolve what's going on? And what we the other card, these all came up together. So this is what's called a cluster reading. Now this one is about equal give and take, what you earn. Okay, and we don't have that in this country right now. I'm not trying to be critical about it, but when you work diligently to earn something, that's what we're being told. And yet here, or I'm doing it backwards. Here, this is about sharing. It's about giving and taking, about the same flowing out as going in. And that is a philosophy, really. I don't typically, I mean, this is obviously a reading about politics. So I am sharing something a little bit different, but I also wanted to soothe you in a way, to affirm for those of you who felt inclined to listen to this, then you found it and it found you, right? This is compassion and flowing in and flowing out. It's about not accumulating wealth for the sake of accumulating wealth. And so what we see here is a narrative about the American dream and capitalism right now that's really got folks worn out. Okay, so this is the issue. Okay, so this is kind of the issue my soul guide wants to provide some guidance on. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Thank you. What can we do? I'm gonna need more context for that one. That's the idea of some sort of a relationship or covenant between people and some kind of binding belief or contract. That's what this card is about. It's another Pentacles card. So let's just see what we get here. It's important that it's not my perspective. I want to be sure that it's my soul guide's perspective. Goodness. That was too many cards. Let's get a little bit more here. What do you want us to see? What do you want us to see? I got another card that was showing itself to me, saying that as we're working, we know it's we can sense it's not fair. Pardon me, I see part now. We can sense it's not fair. It's toiling is one way to put it. Okay, so we're not really invested in a sense of connection to what we're creating often, and so we've really kind of withdrawn ourselves from what our creativity is really intended for. It's to manifest something into our lives, right? And if we are punching in and punching out, which we have to do to make a living, but somehow have sort of withdrawn our focus from being involved in like the creation of our reality, then that's quite different. What that does is and it really can structure us into a situation where we are then sitting back and watching the world as a bystander instead of getting involved. And if there's a spectacle going on, and that's what these cards are showing me right here. What we have is we've got the wish card, the star card is our heart's desire. Okay, our heart's desire, our soul purpose sometimes, right? We've got the magician card, which is a balanced understanding of how things flow in and flow out. And it's not just about money flowing in and flowing out. It's about our focus, our attention, what we believe we're doing flowing in and flowing out, right? They're connected. They're connected, but it's a little different. Okay. This is manifesting. This is sharing. Okay. But they're both about flow. This flow in and out. Don't hold on. You got to release a little bit and then more will flow in, right? That's what this card's about. Okay. And then we've got this message of truth here. It's a message of truth. And it's moving quickly. And swords are just really paying attention to paying attention to what we are watching. Okay, we know there's a lot of spectacle and illusory kind of stuff going on out there. Don't get too steeped in that. Okay, now I understand more than you know that I don't want to be a bystander either. That's why all of a sudden I decided to do these readings. Okay, I usually work at a more localized context with the way I do my work, right? But I think that when we step into this, it's okay to be angry. Just don't stay there. You've got to take care of yourself. If you're scrolling through constantly or finding things that are going on that are wrong, you can find yourself overwhelmed. And what you're doing is you are depleting yourself of being able to be of service to yourself, much less others. If you're angry all of the time without an outlet, go out and get some exercise, go for a walk. There's a space for anger. Okay. I'm not an advocate. I do healings. I'm not an advocate for bottling up anger and saying, oh, well, never mind. My feelings don't matter. When you're angry, you're angry. I understand that. So please don't stay there. Please don't stay there. Not only will you start feeling unhealthy and angry at everything, you will start focusing in on different feeds and different types of media that really are not improving your condition. They're making you feel even more and more overwhelmed. Find one thing you can do each day, even if it's taking care of yourself, right? And understanding that you are a person of value, you matter. What you're doing matters. Make it matter to you, what you're doing. Okay. Then you can bring forth something that can change things for others. And truly, we've got to reconnect as a community and see that it's not just a game, a spectacle out there. We truly can empower ourselves to remember who we are, and that we have to agree to this stuff. Okay. All right. Now I'll see if there's any last thing. I just in case. Okay. The Lover's card is about loving oneself, showing oneself compassion. That's where you've got to invest in yourself first. And people say that a lot, but truly, in most of the healings I do, that's what I see. It's how and where did you learn about prioritizing yourself over anything else that you needed to do, and really truly making yourself a priority in a healthy way is truly important. Okay. All right. Somewhere in my video link, there'll be a link to my website if you want to schedule a personal reading. I'm always happy to do that. Otherwise, I hope that this provides you a sense of guidance. Okay. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.